talking about is the art. The art in selling to a woman. Now, you might be saying, art? Art? Is there such a thing as art? Yes, if you look up the definition of art in the dictionary, it actually states to be skilled in an activity. I truly believe you need to be skilled when selling to a woman. Surely, all of you must agree, both male and female, that selling to a woman is very different to selling to a man. For a man, it's all about, well, a transaction. Some of you may be the feely type, but for most of you, you know what you want. You go to the store, you go to where the product is, a sales agent comes over, male or female, you go, this is what I want, this is the price I want to pay. You actually hope that you can get the price down because you actually, as men, like to negotiate. And then, if you conquer, because you've gone to battle, you walk out really puffed up, the sale's over, it's done and dusted. But for a woman, well, it's a little bit different. Because she goes shopping with all her senses. She goes shopping with her head, her eyes, her ears, her taste buds, her nose, but most importantly, she goes shopping with this, her heart. That's right. So today I'm going to start off with just sharing a couple of personal stories with you. The first one happened to me, and this was a buying experience I went through about 2 years ago. I just arrived in this country, and my husband and I were in the market for a second car. And we decided that it had to be a prestigious car. So off we went to the local BMW dealership, and this dealership is in South Bay. We went down to this dealership, and we were greeted by not a male agent, but a female. And so my husband straight away said, this car is for my wife, and left it at that. But did you think she listened? No. She directed the sale for the entire 3 weeks towards my husband. And she asked him, well, what colour did he want? And how fast he wanted to go? And how low were those alloy wheels going to be? And what colour was the dashboard going to be? And she even offered my husband a test drive, but not me. And throughout that 3-week process, I kept saying, there's something not right. What is going on? I don't trust her, and I'm suspicious of her, and well, can't she see me? Didn't she hear you? And this went on. And in the end, I went, I reckon she fancies you, because all she does is talk to you. And in the end, yeah, she got the sale, and good on her, she got the sale. But you know what she didn't get? She didn't get my loyalty, and she didn't get my advocacy for that brand, and I would never go back to that dealership again to buy a BMW. The second story that I happened to come across was a couple of months later. I was at a networking event, and I came across a woman who had a similar experience to mine. However, she was in the market for a far more prestigious car, and this was a Maserati. True story. And she was cashed up, she was ready to go, and she went to the dealership in Newport Beach on a Saturday morning with her husband. And she was greeted this time by a male sales agent. And my husband said to this man, the car is for my wife. He spotted the car. She knows what she wants. The car's on the floor, and that's what she wants to buy. So he started to talk to him and direct the sale and go on about the car to her husband. Well, she got tired of this, and she actually felt, well, a bit small and patronized, so she decided she's going to go for a walk. And she went around the showroom and she found a notice board, and it had pictures of all the sales agents. And she went along the board, and down at the bottom was this very sweet, innocent-looking, maybe 25-year-old male agent. She decided, oh, I like the look of him. I want him to sell me that car in the showroom. So off she went, looking around, and she found him. And she went up and said, sir, I want you to sell me that car right now. I'm cashed up. My finances in order. I've just sold my exclusive jewelry business, and she was all into diamonds. So she had made a lot of money, and she was retiring from this. And she said, so I want you to organize all the paperwork. Oh, and my finances are in order, and this is my credit score. And he fumbled and he, what? And he went, no, you need to go over to that man. I think he's talking to your husband. And she went, no, leave them to dance. Please ignore me. I want you to have the sale. And so, guess what? He got the commission. Then there were a couple more other interesting buying processes. And after that, I sat down and I started to reflect. What is going on? What is going on? It appears to me that there's a new paradigm to selling that people haven't cottoned on to. First of all, that it's very different in selling to a woman than it is to a man. The approach needs to be very different. And those tried and tested formulas, they don't work anymore when it comes to selling to a woman. I also realized that a lot of salespeople did not know how to sell to a woman. So I put down my thoughts, and what came out of this was this book, The Art of Selling to a Woman. And it came out in November, just last year, and it actually was an Amazon bestseller, and I actually made #1 in sales in Germany, believe it or not, so I was very proud of that. But during the writing of this book, I came up with some astounding facts and figures that made me realize that I'm onto something big, and companies, if they want to stay ahead of the game, they better get onto this. And this is what I discovered, that women are an incredibly powerful purchasing demographic. Are you aware that 85% of all purchasing decisions are made by women? But wait, 66% of women influence what computer comes into your home. With regards to, we've got a real estate agent here, 91% of that deciding about that home is influenced by a woman. And when it comes to vacations, you can bet your bottom dollar, come on fellas, your wife decided where you were going to go. And then we look at over-the-counter medicines, what comes into your home, the Tylenol, your wife decides on that, as well as your groceries, as well as any other food items. So already there's some figures and facts, but I'm going to share you actually some more about the income of that woman. By 2018, that's just next year, women are going to be globally earning around $18 trillion. And by 2028, it is predicted that women, sorry fellas, they're going to actually out-earn men. Already, women have more degrees than men. And this came out in 2015. This was announced by the Bureau of Statistics and as a report in 2015. Now moving forward, women over the age of 50 have never been more active, more healthy and more wealthy than in entire world history. And a woman over the age of 50, once that last college kid leaves college, guess what? Her spending goes up by 2.5 times. That's more than what the average person is spending. By 2028, women are going to control around 75% of discretionary spending. Yay. Thank you. Yeah. So there are all many facts and figures. So I put down all my thoughts, and I did this investigation, and then I also thought, I have the key. I have the key on how to sell to women. And this key came from working from an organization called Qantas Airways out of Australia for over 21 years. They taught me how to attract and retain high-value clients. They really showed me how it was done. Because Qantas, I don't know if you realize, made a $1.53 billion profit before tax last year. Why? Because they continually invest on customer feedback. They take that feedback and then they turn it into training programs, and then they upskill all their people. So let me just take you now to Australia. Has anyone been to Australia? Well, for some of you who haven't been, not to worry, we're going to go there in a click, and there's going to be no jet lag and no long haul flight. And for some of you who've never been, come with me now. We're going to be in Australia. Here we are in Australia. So we've just arrived in Australia, and I want to let you know a little bit about my background. So when I left Qantas on a very high note. I was the leading lady, the chief person, the lady in charge, where the buck stopped with me, in charge of this magnificent $375 million A380 aircraft. Has anyone been on an A380? Well, you do know the size of it. And this huge aircraft, I was the leading lady just after the technical crew, and I had to lead a team of 20 flight attendants to ensure that they delivered an exceptional customer service experience. It was my role and responsibility to ensure I gave great value to money to customers. But the good news is Qantas always backed me up because they gave me training programs. They upskilled me all the time. So with regards to the sort of playing field I was up against, I just want to share with you the sort of experience, well, the expectations that were expected of me. Are you aware that a first-class ticket round trip from Los Angeles is around $17,500? Okay? But for that, you get this lovely suite. It's a little capsule. You've got this seat that does so many things. It swivels, it moves, it turns, and it turns into a bed. But before you even get into first class, you visit this exquisite lounge in Sydney, at Sydney Airport. And there you can have a lovely dining experience catered by Sofitel before you even get on board. So you can imagine the benchmark is set even before customers get on board. If you can't afford first class, not to worry. Business class isn't too shabby. For $11,500 round trip, you can sit in business class. This time, though, you have to share your seat with someone else. But if you don't like your neighbour, not to worry, there's a lounge. You can visit a lounge where you can mix and mingle with first class as well if you want to get away from that snoring person next to you. All right, so I put pictures up here of celebrities. So you might be saying, well, what's that all about? Well, this is the clientele I had to look after. And the clientele were the likes of Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, Kate Blanchett, John Travolta. There was Taylor Swift, Daniel Craig, Hugh Jackman. Oh, he was a good sort. Anyway, I had to look after all these celebrities. And I'm not here to bloviate in any way, but I wanted to let you know that these sort of people, they had money to burn. They could buy anything and everything. But the thing they wanted the most was that heartfelt, personalized, individualized customer service experience that made them feel like human beings, not celebrities. And the good news is, Qantas taught me how to do that. So let's go back to Los Angeles. Come with me now, just in a click. And we're back in LA. So I realized that Qantas taught me 3 key areas that they always marketed on and put their money into: appearance, approach, and accountability. So I decided I'm going to now fill in the spaces about that. And we're going to talk about appearance. Appearance was so important when it came to working with Qantas. We all had to look beautifully groomed. We had a grooming guide and we had to adhere to it. And I'm astounded and shocked that when I flew your airlines within America, they had all made personal adjustments to their uniforms. And they decided to wear whatever they liked. And yet they didn't realize the power of appearance. And I implore you all, if you are into selling to a woman or a man, and this program is just not for women, it's for men. Because if you get this piece right, you can sell anything to anyone at any time. But if you fine-tune this, you can sell to men as well, and they will really appreciate it as well. So appearance is very important, your grooming and presentation. And Qantas was all about, if our flight attendants look good, they look consistent, they look very businesslike, guess what? It instills confidence into our passengers that you're going to take really good care of us. So grooming was a big thing. And that also included bathrooms. The sign of a good airline is when you keep your bathrooms immaculate. Well, I truly believe in your workplace when it comes to appearance. And appearance just isn't about dressing for success, because that instills confidence into your clients that, you know what, you're going to take good care of me. You're going to give me great value for money. But appearance goes into your work environment as well. How is your work environment? Is it conducive towards a man or a woman? Now you might be saying, is there a difference? Absolutely. For a woman, When she goes shopping, she likes to walk into her own living room. So for all you fellas out there that might have trophies, fishing, golf, whatever they are, I suggest that you possibly tuck them away, because for a woman, it's very important that your work environment has potted plants, has pictures of nature, pictures of family, has a nice couch, has a round table, that's also important. There's so much that goes into appealing to the senses of a woman when she goes shopping. Then we'll move on to quickly approach. Now, did I mention that when you sell to a woman, it's like a luxurious dining experience? And the approach is the main course. We've just finished with entree, but now we're into the main course. And this is about the approach. Now, the approach. The welcome. What sort of welcome do you give? Is it warm? Is it welcoming? Do you give out your business card? How often do you use your client's name? Qantas was all about using a passenger's name many, many times, because when you use a passenger's name or a person's name, it's the sweetest sound to anyone in any language. The welcome, your non-verbal communication, watching your gestures is very important. Effective listening, oh boy, it's so important. Sorry fellas, I'm not out to get you, I promise, but it's important that you really sit down and listen. Take notes. Do not interrupt. Don't come to the solution. Just let her talk until she runs out of steam. But just take notes at this stage. Ask the right questions. Anticipate her needs before she arrives or during. Make sure she's refreshed. She's a busy lady. You know, she's a huge caretaker. Have their water, have refreshments there for her. And I call it the snail sale. Allow her to set the pace of when she is going to buy. For a lot of us, we hate, I need to think about it. Would you let me go away? Yes, allow her to go home and think about it. Because she likes to collaborate with others. She likes to research a little bit more and come to her own decision. Women do not mind paying top dollar as long as they're going to have a very memorable experience. And then finally, the farewell. The farewell is just as important as the welcome. Look, there's so much more I could go on about with regard to the approach. I don't have time. Some of it's in my book, but I do have a course as well that can certainly, delve into those finer details. And then we move on to accountability. Now, accountability is intertwined into anything and everything to do with the buying process, from the beginning to the end and beyond. Accountability, it's about the follow-up, and it's not just about an email. A follow-up, goes in so much detail. It's about celebrating milestones, it's celebrating anniversaries, it's following up on that chitter-chatter. Remember when she sat down and you were effectively listening? She gave you a lot of information during her chitter-chatter that you could leverage off, and that's when you follow up. It's important during following up that you have great CRM systems as well. Punctuality, very important. Be on time. Qantas taught me that. People would be very angry if that huge $375 million A380 did not leave on time with 500 passengers on. So important that you're on time always. Assumptions, never ever make them. Never ever. You just don't know. And I've just showed you the incredible purchasing power of a woman. Don't ever assume that it's the man that is going to possibly, first of all, have the money, but also be the decision maker when it comes to making that purchase. Surprising and delighting her, well, that already is just anticipating her needs, but I do go into that a little bit more about what that means. And then the tangible tokens of appreciation. That's gifts that you leave with her that help her to remember you. That's right. You want to emotionally connect with her. Remember, when you capture her heart first, it's important you capture her heart first, and then you can capture her purse strings. It's important also to be totally transparent when you are selling to her. If you don't know and you can't help her, then own up and say that. Let go of the ego. Say, I can't help you, but I do have someone who can help you. And finally, also, just remember this. She is a viral marketer. Remember I said an effective way to market your products and services? A woman, when she's had a great experience, she is going to sing your praises. And women use social media more than men. So it's important. If you give her this exceptional client experience, she will come back and she will bring her fans with her as well. So finally, just to finish off, I've created the surprise and delight system. And it's all about really creating an exceptional client experience as well as signatures. And this is through the courses I've put online. I hope today, ladies and gentlemen, that I've shown you a very unique and refreshing approach to selling that is actually a lot of fun, and really takes the angst out of selling, especially when it comes to selling to a woman. And for some of you, you know what, if this isn't for you, that's all right. But I just hope I've created awareness in you that next time you are shopping and when it doesn't feel right, the buying experience, get out. You've got choices. You deserve to be celebrated, honoured and respected when you are going through a buying process. And for you gentlemen out there, I hope I've created, well, a new awareness in your home front. Allow that woman of yours to make those purchasing decisions, because that's where she is in her element, and it's all right to let go and let her do it for you. Thank you very much.